6:32 on Thursday, August 15th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and open the special called meeting of the McGregor City Council. The first agenda item that we need to take action on is discussion and possible action regarding the approval of the budget except for the Bluebonnet Water Supply Company line item for the fiscal year beginning on October 1st, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025, and making appropriations for each department, project, and account for said year in accordance with the city charter of the City of McGregor, Texas, and the laws of the state of Texas, providing a severability clause and providing an effective date. Well, we have seen this a couple times now. General consensus of the council, would you like to hear it again or no?
All of it and more. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, hearing a general consensus, thank you, but no, Carolyn.
Obviously, the only interesting thing here is we're gonna do it twice so that your mayor can vote on everything except what he pertains to.
Which is kind of a weird way to do it, but, okay.
Well, I agree, but maybe we'll learn better next year.
All right, so we have heard the budget presentation. And we could go ahead and entertain a motion from the council at this time.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance. Oh, wait.
But we're not to the
Is it-
ordinance yet.
We're not there yet? Huh.
Just the budget except Bluebonnet.
Yeah, just the
Oh, okay.
budget except for Bluebonnet.
Yeah, that we accept that we approve the budget except for the Bluebonnet Water Supply Company line item for the next fiscal year 25.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
and we have a second. Is there any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? That motion carries. You do have your record vote on that, correct?
Yes.
All right, so
Carolyn, do you have that paper that the tax office wants with every one of their signatures?
Oh, no, but I'll get it for everything.
all right, so we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 3, which is discussion and possible action regarding the approval of ordinance O-15-2024 and an ordinance of the City Council of the City of McGregor, Texas, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning on October 1st, 2024 and ending on September 30th, 2025, and making appropriations for each department, project, and account for said year in accordance with the city charter of the City of McGregor, Texas, and the laws of the state of Texas, providing a severability clause and providing an effective date. You did receive a copy of the ordinance with your packet. And essentially, with the exception of Bluebonnet being included in this one, it is the same as the last agenda item. Therefore, because Bluebonnet is in this, I will be abstaining from the vote.
Would you like a motion?
I would like a motion
I'll make a motion,
by ordinance number.
that we, approve the ordinance O-15-2024.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of ordinance O-15-2024. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Note 1 abstention. Item 4, discussion and possible action to ratify property tax increase reflected in the fiscal year 25 budgets. All right.
You have the ordinance for it's all in there. I mean, it's probably from our.
You have your sheet like this?
Okay.
Is this what we're gonna say for the motion?
Yes, it has to be worded exactly like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready to
Approve,
make the
ratify the
motion.
property
Oh.
tax increase that will raise more total property than taxes in last year's budget of $620,015, or 6.59%. And the amount of $84,997 is tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax roll this year.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of ordinance O-16-2024, an ordinance of the city of the City Council of the City of McGregor, Texas, approving the 2024 certified tax roll for the City of McGregor, Texas. That ordinance is included in your packet.
And section 2 is the important part.
Okay, Section 2, the City Council of the City of McGregor hereby approves and adopts the 2024 certified tax roll of the City of McGregor, Texas in the amount of $822,268,660 based on the certified tax rolls as approved by McLennan County Appraisal Districts.
That's what
Do-
our motion should read. Or just a reference
Just
to the
this.
ordinance?
Yeah, reference the ordinance
Okay.
number. So I will accept a motion by ordinance number.
I move that we adopt ordinance O-16-2024.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second.
Who was that? Second?
Brittany.
Thank
Renee, it's Renee.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? The motion carries. Okay, item 6, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of ordinance O-17-2024 in accordance, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of McGregor, Texas, adopting a tax rate, providing for the assessment, levy, and collection of ad valorem taxes for the City of McGregor, Texas for the year 2024 on all taxable property within the corporate limits of the city as of January 1st, 2024, not exempt by law, providing revenues for the payment of current municipal expenses, providing for the collection of taxes and enforcement of collections, and providing an effective dates.
That one pretty well needs to be the whole thing read on this one.
Okay. I mean, if you're ready.
No, that
I'm
is
ready
the
to make
caption.
motion.
But this, we have to,
you.
you have to print it extra big. This needs to be said, but also you need to include the rate number, what we're actually
Isn't
setting the
that what
rates
we
at.
did in the wording?
Huh?
They're providing this in the wording.
Okay. Well, can I at least get them to say the 10 cents? Because that's not in anything from the tax office, which is on the second page, top of the 10 cents for the public improvement district. Only because they didn't want to do it one year because we didn't have it. So I've added it. Yes, for the PID.
Okay. Well, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.530016, which is effectively a 14.56% increase in the tax rate, and 0.10 for the purpose of public improvement district per $100 assessed value on those properties within the public improvement district.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? That motion carries. Item 7, discussion and possible action regarding approval of ordinance O-18-2024 and an ordinance of the City of McGregor, Texas, amending Appendix A, fee schedule to the Code of Ordinances, repealing all conflicting ordinances, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. And we can go ahead and accept a motion on that by ordinance number.
I make
Did,
a motion.
I had one of these in my packet, but there was also one on the desk when I got here. Is there something different?
Yes, if you'll recall last night, there was a discrepancy in the demand. And so that's been corrected in the new. And we just presented to you
Okay.
what the amendments. This one now has those amendments incorporated, so it's
I got you.
everything.
I remember
This
this.
is the same as presented last night, with the exception of that correction.
With the
Got it.
exception of the correction and the things that the proposed changes, we've added those in, so it's a current, if it's adopted, done.
Okay.
I make a motion, Mayor, if that's good.
By ordinance number.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number O-18-2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on ordinance O-18-2024? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? That motion carries. Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding approval of resolution R-10-2024, a resolution of the City Council of the City of McGregor, Texas, adopting the investment policy in compliance with Public Funds Investment Act.
No changes?
No changes from last year. This is the same policy.
All right, unless you have any questions for Carolyn, I will entertain a motion.
I wasn't here last year, so I'd like to hear.
Bonnie?
We're pretty limited on what we can invest in.
Yes. And the whole policy's back there for your bedtime reading to keep you awake.
Well,
Yes,
I
please
make a,
do.
I make a motion, we could approve that resolution R-10-2024.
Okay,
A
we have-
second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of resolution R-10-2024. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? That motion carries.
Thank y'all.
All right, the next item on our agenda is to hold a public hearing regarding application of certificate of appropriateness for the rehabilitation of the chamber building front facade and entryway at 303 South Main Street. Brian, please educate us.
Good evening. The Historic Commission met at 5:30 today to review this item. And can you turn down the lights a little bit so they can just see this a little bit better? The chamber is wanting to update the look of their building. They have a certain amount of funding, and the EDC has agreed to match that funding. What they would like to do is paint this trim red and then do the building in a lighter color. The white is not actually, the stark white is not actually what they want to do. It's a little more of a cream or an off-white. The recommendation from the Historic Commission was for them to bring back a better drawing or better rendering that would show more of the texture of the brick and a truer color of what they want to do. There were some folks on the Historic Commission that didn't like the idea of painting the brick, and so they recommended looking at some alternatives like doing a schmear on it or a lime wash and seeing what that would maybe what a rendering of that would look like, what the cost would be on that. But that was their recommendation, is to bring it back after some work has been done on the concept.
All right, this item does,
Yep.
He's on the color palette that we currently
It's
have.
not, this is what we have to work off of.
I guess we got this one.
So the,
So this would have to be added to that color palette.
the reason that they selected their, the reason they selected that red on the top of the swatch there is that it most closely is the same color code as what they use in their current branding online and print. So on the business card, they have red, and on their logos that they use in other publications, they use the red, and that's the closest color to that.
okay, give me just a second here, Brian. We're gonna go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:48. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on this? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:49. And we'll move on to the next item, which is discussion and possible action regarding application for certificate of appropriateness for the rehabilitation of the chamber building front facade and entryway at 303 South Main Street. So now, let's discuss away.
Okay, I just think it's important, this isn't on the chart that's approved that we make everybody else go by. And I think that they need to pick one of these reds. It's not as bright a red, it's kind of a, well, it's kind of a brick, I don't know. But they need to look at this and, go by it, because that's what we require everybody else to do in the historic. And if they went and they did some other color, you know, it might cause problems with,
Now, Brian, you were saying that the Historic Commission would like to see this back in front of them?
They would, yeah, they'd like to see I guess a more detailed rendering, a truer rendering, and some different.
But before they do the rendering, I think they need to know this is an approved color for the historic district.
If we recall, the Historic Commission's really, their thing for downtown and the historic area is to maintain some of the integrity of what the buildings look like from the street, so that we don't end up with another purple building that is just an eyesore in the community. So, not to say that this is a purple building, but I agree with the councilwoman that there's a list that we've gone by in the past. So if we operate outside of that, we're opening up a can of worms.
The purple building was done prior to them setting this. so
Yes.
It wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, this is that's kind of historic colors anyway for, most towns have almost this identical thing when they do their downtown.
That was my
Is either one
question.
of these close to this, the book that you got, paper that you got?
I was just wondering, like, when this, I'd never seen or, so I didn't know, but apparently they voted on this.
That was here when I got here.
Probably about the time you saw the purple building go up, I think it was the next month.
Took action.
I think the reasoning for their choosing the red swatch in front of you is sound, and it makes sense. But yes,
Against the historic commission.
It's the color palette.
I mean, that one might be.
What's so I pulled up the current building on Google. Is that a rust or a brown color that's around, like the eave or in the windows?
mm-hmm.
The doors look what? Dark brown?
Are your doors brown or black? I can't remember.
I think they were brown at one point and now they're just old.
They
Yeah.
just faded.
They want to replace the
Does this
door.
include like a new awning?
Yeah, the old awning from Irene's was donated to the chamber, so that was recently put up.
Yeah, that would make it look 100 times better. Just that alone would look so much nicer. Because the current, was that corrugated tin across the front looks pretty sad.
Okay, well, seeing as how this did not pass through the Historic Commission, and it is the prerogative of this council to take no action on this item.
Let's see it again.
We will see it again. So at this point, unless anybody else has any questions about the color palette or the historic commission, we can go ahead and move on to the next agenda item, which would be announcements from our city manager.
I don't have a thing. What I said last night, we have an executive session on the 9th to discuss the process you want to use to replace the city judge.
Do we have some suggestions? Will you be bringing up?
I'll be bringing you all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
But you gotta decide how you want to proceed.
Are we already advertising it, or?
No, I can do it till you say so.
And do we plan to, today?
Yeah, we need to do something for Jim. His last day is that next day. Don't know what he's gonna be doing here, but we may all join him with stuff like that. The proclamation point, sure. He's got a lot of time in here. He's been a public servant here for nearly all of his adult life, one way or another. We need to find out a little bit more about that, what some of the other things he did. Talk about P and Z membership and stuff. I think we need to roll it all in. Heck of a good guy.
And what you sent out to us about the police officers that helped, the citizen, that was great. So, I just commend him on that.
All right, well, we can go ahead and move on to the requests and comments from the council.
And the mayor.
August 22nd is TML Region 9 here at the Exchange Center. So a couple of y'all can attend and let Angela know, or let them know.
You all got a seat.
Is it Cassie? Let Cassie.
Oh, Cassie.
Let Cassie know, but it's, you and the guest as well. Just come on, it'll be a pretty neat deal. They've wrangled James into cooking steaks. We're gonna get the steaks from, Blair Barnard. And then, I think that's all you're doing, right?
That's all I'm doing, I'm skipping school and all.
Oh, I appreciate that. No.
James.
All right, I do have something. I've been in communications with the new site director out at SpaceX, and he has asked us to maybe come up with a couple dates that we can split up so we don't have a quorum and come out and take a tour.
Oh,
But I think this would also be a perfect time to express the concerns of our constituents on the length and volume on some of the testing. So I would encourage any one of you that wants to go out there, please, and I'll get with Angela, and so you can contact her instead of me.
3 and 3, 2 groups.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is all I have.
Would there be a possibility that we could also go to Knopf?
Yeah.
Well, we can arrange that, but it may be a little further out there.
And that's what I figured.
They're gearing up, and I sent y'all all an email. I blind copied that so you can't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But, they started cooking today,
Yeah.
and there's a little tuft of steam coming out of the stack, so, I'll visit with Kevin and see what a good time would be for y'all to go out there.
Perhaps Allied too. I've seen some photos. It looks pretty,
I
high
like
tech.
Technical, ain't it?
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Looks pretty high tech.
All right.
That's her too, if you want it.
Why not?
Does anybody have anything else?
After the industrial court.
Yeah, let's just go visit everybody.
Well, are they gonna have like a ribbon cutting or anything?
Don't
No.
have a clue.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll just have to see.
I asked him when we did that cutting, and we had that real big test, that guy, if we could come tour this thing. And he said, sure, but didn't say, like, we, because I didn't know when it'd be finished.
All right, well, if nobody has anything else, we will go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:57 PM.